This is a shitty ass cell phone camera, so it's like you just can't get the picture here, but there's Jupiter down there. And there's the moon. There's Jupiter and the moon above the barn. That's perfect alignment right there. I mean, I could make a perfect line between any dot combos. So it's like, what's the meaning? What does it say? What does it say, you know, when you flash the light? It's a tree. Illumination. I didn't speak much about the Jupiter-Saturn square. But the sun's about to head into Sagittarius soon. Mercury is there. Venus just went through. We have Jupiter, the ruler, in Gemini, so the mind and expansion. Belief as release. You can't really, a lot of times we hold so much knowledge and conviction in the beliefs we've established that we cannot release to rise up. From that 3 to 9 energy, house axis wise. Now I'm in the Shire now, but there's people that live in these valleys that have never left. And why would they? But I mean, we all fall into the Shire wherever we're at, and that's usually in our perspectives, the language of potential, what we can believe, which is usually based off of our value judgments. What holds meaning in your experiences? What have you experienced that has bound you? How do you realize you are not a fixed result? You're an accumulation. And a lot of things you hold as valuable are steps in the process. You know, when you climb a tree, you're grabbing branches. You got to let go of one to grab the other. You know, those, if you see the seeds floating on the breeze, sometimes they get stuck, sometimes they bounce off. Eventually they find a place of truth where they root, that holds them. So these are times when the dirt, the dust is unsettled and the dirt's kicked up and you're free to be. Naturally. The world is showing us reasons as to why that matters, real value, the felt presence of experience, not the programmed iterations of some indoctrination spell of unconscious, epically unconscious proportions from which all potentials are valid. So what's the meaning in it for you? How do you make use of this? You know, Uranus is heading into Gemini soon. I believe next year. That's the North Node section of the Uranian energies. It's the first trine from Aquarius. And we work the energetics, well, in many ways, but macro to micro and micro to macro. So breathing, okay? Sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're not. Life is like that. When you're aware of it, do what feels most in alignment with your heart so the mind can follow purity. You know, to hurt is to heal, essentially. You have to get through the sludge, the swamp, the stagnant emotional draws of the gravity of your experiences so that you can rise up, knowing what the value of that journey, that process was, through making the most of it for yourself, to make value known and not what others have told us it is. The world's going to be doing a lot of interesting things with Venus and Capricorn now. Uranus and Taurus. Changing values. I mean, if you're watching the markets, you know what I'm talking about. If you're an XRP person, you haven't seen anything yet. But I see all that shit as a short-term gap, a bridge between the future and the next change, next big change. So as the world turns, so do you. You must be your own Saturn now. Don't allow the Saturn of the world to hold you.